What is happening? It has been far too long. Literally, it's been a couple of weeks since we had our amazing East Coast trip. I came down with a little bug as soon as I got home, and I'm finally back in gear, back at the winery, doing the things. For everyone that came out to those events, this is long overdue. It was so much fun. New York, DC, Philly, you guys, well, technically Haddonfield, New Jersey, in the greater Philly area, you all showed up and it was a ton of fun. So great to see some familiar faces, some new faces. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting. It was a blast. And it is good to be back home in the cellar. Literally just getting through some barrel tasting. If you couldn't tell, you taste through a bunch of Cabernet in the middle of the afternoon, your teeth turn purple like that, the way it goes. We are 1 short month away from our upcoming bottling run. So this was just a quick kind of check in on the kids, make sure everyone's playing nice, that everything's tasting the way it ought to be. We know that harvest, even though with a cool growing season, is gonna be pushed back a little bit. We wanna make sure that the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, everything down the alleyway here is tasting good, looking good. That way, when harvest comes in, I can just be like, all right, you kids are going to bed. I got other stuff to worry about. So it's nice to be back in the cellar. It's nice to not have a stuffed up nose. I can actually smell and taste wine again after being sick last week. It's good to be back. So it is gonna be just a killer summer out here. This season, it's gonna be long and drawn out so far. I'm hoping that it continues that way because that really leans into the style of wine that we love to make. And everything that's in barrel that we've been tasting this week has just been tasting awesome. The Cab Franc is lights out. The Cabernet is singing. Our Merlot, of course, is exactly where we want it to be. Could not be happier with the way the 22s are tasting right now. So they've been in barrel now, since last October or so, early November maybe. So they're well on their way at this point. The new barrels are finally starting to have a little bit of effect. That's all the shiny ones that are right there. The used barrels are the dirtier looking ones, like that guy right there. But they still do a good job. They still do a good job. And it's this time of year, it's just checking in on the kids, making sure that everything is going well, that everything's tasting well. This is kind of the QC part of winemaking, the really hard days at the office. Tasting a bunch of wine and coming home with purple teeth. I'm actually trying to go to the gym after this. It's a hard knock life, but someone's got to do it, you know.